Hey y'all, so today we're continuing with our NAMM show musicians that I've discovered that I love. And we have a very special one today. Her name is Stephanie Childers-White. And yeah, like I said last week, NAMM is the National Association of Music Merchants. And it's been at the Anaheim Convention Center for, gosh, since 1976, I believe. I did look it up. 1976, yes. And the Anaheim Convention Center is right across the street from Disneyland. It's in walking distance. And it's just a big, gathering of people trying to introduce you to their new products, people coming from all over the world to buy their new products. And you get to see a lot of great artists. And that's where I met Stephanie because she was at the Hammond booth and I got to see her perform there. So for the last few years, I've been a guest of Scott Russ Music, and Scott Russ has this music store in Merrick on Long Island, New York, and he is one of the main Hammond dealers out of like 20. I believe there's 20 in the United States. He's one of the main guys who he knows how to work with Hammonds, Hammond organs. He knows how to get you the best Hammond for your whatever you're looking for, what kind of music you want to do. And Hammond is a very specific and unique organ, which I'm sure Stephanie, my guest coming on next, will tell us about. Thanks to Scott for always inviting me to the NAMM show. But today's artist is Stephanie Childers-White. And I saw her at the Hammond booth, and she was just an amazing musician. And she's so sweet because she followed up afterwards and reached out to me and said, "Did you make it back safely?" And I thought that was really sweet because, like I said, the NAMM show gets so crazy that you're so tired after you get back that you barely remember your name. And for her to reach out and, follow up, I thought was really sweet. So I invited her on the show, on the podcast, and she said she'd love to, and she's going to tell us all about the things she's doing. She's got her own original music. She's a musical director. She's a great musician, and she's got a couple other projects that I'm sure she's going to tell us about. So I want to, just say welcome, Stephanie Childers-White.
Candid with Kimbra.
How you doing?
Candid with Kimbra.
Telling ya.
Candid with
I'm really excited for you to check out this interview.
Candid with Kimbra.
So thank you so much for joining me today at this time, because I know you had probably a busy day, right?
Yes. Yes, I do a broadcast like on Mondays Eastern Standard Time at 6. So I just was able to finish that up and then
that's
jump right
awesome.
on.
You're ready to go.
Yes.
Well, for my listeners and watchers who don't know you, this is Stephanie Childers-White. And I met Stephanie at the NAMM show, right?
Yes.
And I said, "You look like Jennifer Hudson." It was Jennifer Hudson. Yeah, Jennifer Hudson, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah, you do.
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, she's very pretty. I saw her in she did that movie with about Aretha Franklin,
Yes.
I went to a special. It was a screening, but it was a premiere too. And I really liked it. I mean, I think she's a great singer, and it's hard to I don't want to say impersonate, but make a tribute to Aretha Franklin, because that's a pretty big shoes to fill, right?
Yes. Aretha, I mean, I respect her in so many ways. I mean, that's very large shoes to fill. I mean, to even play her. Aretha was amazing.
I know.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
I know.
So,
It's funny. I remember I went through this I did this show, gosh, it's been about 10 years ago now, that it was a live show that I produced with a friend, and I got to perform in it every week. And we had this house band, and I got to sing, open up with whatever songs I wanted to do. And I remember I was going through a serious Aretha Franklin stage at the time. They were like,
Yes.
"What? No Aretha this time?" It's like I just was like, everybody goes through those. A lot of singers idolize her, so
Yes.
But
I love respect. Gotta respect, respect.
I know, right? To me, that's one of her hardest songs to sing, just because of the
It is.
the timing. You know,
Yes. Yes.
the thing.
Yeah, and like the richness of her voice and everything, all the vocal attributes that she would do with her voice were just awesome and amazing. And like you said, that is a hard song to sing. You got to come 100 and really bring it.
You got to be rested to do that song.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So when I saw you at the Hammond booth, first of all, Scott Russ, who always gets me into the show, he invites me. He's one of the his company, his Scott Russ Music. They are one of the distributors of the Hammond Organ. So
Awesome.
he's the one that told me, Scott, yeah.
Yes.
So he's one that told me about the Hammond, because I wasn't that familiar with it before. What makes
Yes.
And now I know you're one of the artists that's going to represent the line, right?
Yes, yes. It hasn't been released yet publicly, but yes, I am one of the artists, and I can't believe that they considered me to do that. Like I am like still pinching myself.
You're like, is that real? I mean,
Yeah, like I mean, I just feel like there's millions of organists around the country that are so amazing, and for them to see something in me, like, and to choose me, I mean, I'm just so honored. Like,
Aw.
really.
Well, you were great. I was watching you, and actually,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to show some of your playing in
Oh,
this
great.
class at the beginning. Scott has some stuff that I'm going to get from him, and then you can always send me stuff too if you have it.
Awesome.
But yeah, but I was watching you, and you have this really nice way about you too, where you're always like so joyful looking, and it's probably your beliefs and everything that make you
Yes.
right.
Most definitely.
I could tell.
Yeah, I am like just a happy-go-lucky person. Like not to say that everything is perfect in life, but I feel like I have to just count it all joy. Like, where I want to complain, like somebody said to me like your worst day would be somebody's best day. And like I had to really think about that. And so like I have to stop myself when I get ready to complain to say, wait, you know what? There is something I have to be grateful for. I have breath in my body. I have the activity of my limbs.
Yeah.
I have ears to hear. I mean, somebody said on Sunday, like, hey, is anybody in this room today that has a warm furnace? Because we're on the East Coast with a lot of the snow and
I
sub-zero
know.
temperatures.
I've heard.
And it's been a hot mess, like, or a cold mess, really.
I know. I've heard because Scott is in New York on Long Island, and he was
Ooh.
like, it's like 4 degrees or something. I don't know.
I know he's getting it. I know he's getting it. But they said, does anybody in here have a working furnace? And we're like, yeah. And it was like, that's a reason to praise God. I was like, it is. It is, because I've heard of people's furnaces and even churches' furnaces going out with these sub-zero temperatures.
I know. But that
It's crazy.
you bring up a good point. That's like, and it's so corny, I know, but it's like, I always, when I get down and depressed, I just think of, the, what am I grateful for? Because you got to start from there. It's all your perspective too.
Yes.
And
Yes.
like you said, your worst day is someone's best day. And, even I was watching something on TV and someone that was in prison, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean,
Wow.
imagine, like, it's just,
My God. Yeah.
and so being, we have the freedom of all this things all these things that we're doing. And
Yeah.
I was in my little intro that I do. I was calling you a hyphen because my friend calls me he goes, you're a hyphen. You're a producer. You're a singer. You're not. And so I was like,
Ooh,
Stephanie's a
yes.
hyphen too.
I love that.
Yeah. And so that's my
Right.
right, a hyphen, because I know. Gosh, when I was reading your bio, I actually printed out some notes because you're doing so many things. But well, you're a musical director for one thing, right?
Yeah.
Is it at your church or where?
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I've done that down through the years. So like I have been musical directors, I have been organist, MC, worship leader. I kind of fill in the gaps where needed. So yeah.
You're like me. I do that too. Like I had to sub for somebody at the school that I teach, and this I'm not really a guitar player, but I try to be. And anyway, the guitar player got sick, so I had to fill in. So I'm always with the person that's like, I'll do it. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, why did I do that?
Been there, done that too.
We're pragmatic and practical people, right?
Yes,
But
yes.
anyway, so you're a musical director, and so let me just backtrack a little bit. I know you're from Akron, Ohio, right?
Yes, home of the brand.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I know a lot of people from Ohio, and
Yes.
very practical, hardworking people, I think.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
they are, because my one friend Kelly, she's from Ohio, and she's from outside of Columbus, I think. And she's one of the hardest working people I know.
Yes, yes.
So and now you don't live in Ohio now. Where do you live now?
Oh no, I live in
Oh,
Ohio
you still
now.
do? Oh, I
I
didn't know
still
that.
do. I did move years ago to Pittsburgh to do music at a church, and I was like
Mhm.
music director there for a while. And then I missed home and came back home to my roots.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Is that where you met your husband?
Well, yes, I met him in Pittsburgh.
Oh, in Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And he didn't mind moving back to or moving to Ohio?
Oh no, no. He liked it, and but after honestly being at NAM, I'm like, I need to go ahead and get a property out in Anaheim, LA, because the energy, like it was so amazing. Like I literally felt like a total different atmosphere. Like
Sure.
who I am as an artist, I was like accepted, and like I
My people, right?
yes, and I felt like right at home, and I felt like people respected and honored me for being me. And it's kind of like there's a saying in churches, a prophet doesn't have honor in his own country. Like in other words, like when people are familiar with you and know what you do, they're like, "Oh, that's just Stephanie," or "Oh, that's just that person," right? Where it's not maybe they're not as celebratory as other people when you go out and you share who you are, a piece
That's
of
great.
yourself. And so for me to share that piece of myself, and like I said, like I was just so honored to even for Hammond to even look at me like that. And you plow and plow for years, and then just people started embracing me as their baby sister. And the weather was warm, and the
What's
food
not
was
to like,
great.
right?
The
Um,
people and the vibe and like the creative juices, and you could see like even how like there were so many artists at NAM that were just who they were. Like they weren't putting on an air. Like
mhm,
they dressed how they wanted to dress.
mhm,
They
mhm,
sang how they wanted to sing. They
mhm.
played the way that they wanted to play, and they were just being their authentic self. And it was like I felt like a little kid in a candy store. It was just like I was so joyous. It was just like joy mania for me, and I felt like oh that vibe was just like amazing.
That's so great that you feel that way, because I was just in my little intro, I was saying how I love NAM too. I've gone now for the last 3 or 4 years, but sometimes it's kind of like it's a little overwhelming, because there's just so
Yeah,
much going on. At the end of
yeah.
the day, I'm like, but at the end of the night, by the end of the day, at the nighttime, I'm checking out new artists that I wanted to hear or people that I didn't ever get to see. I see them play. And but I'm so glad you feel that way, that it brought out the best in you.
Yes,
And
yes.
was that your first NAM then?
It was. I was just gonna say, like, it was my first time going.
Uh-huh.
And a great friend of mine, Ashley Peoples, who is endorsed by Juicy Music, she was like, "You should really go to NAM because me and her have done a lot with the GMWA, which is the Gospel Music Workshop of
Sure.
America."
Hmm.
And so she was like, "You should really come to NAM." I'm like, "What's NAM?" I didn't even know like it
What
wasn't.
is this
And
NAM?
I know, yeah, and it's kind of interesting because like I came. I went to the University of Akron for music education, and all they ever talked about was like, and there's no shade, like, the Ohio Music Education Association, OMIA, and they talked about ACA, the Choral Association. They never brought up NAM ever, ever. And I
And there's a
went,
lot of music education stuff at NAM.
it is so many awesome things. And like I was able, like, so I'm also a music teacher for Akron Public
Right.
Schools.
I saw
And
that.
so
Your other
so
hyphen.
yes. And so like I went there for their music education track, and it was amazing. Like it was a very different vibe where like like the Omiye has their vibe, and it's kind of like real. It is, and not in a bad way, but just like formal and real, like hyper focus on like certain aspects of music ed. I
Right.
loved what the music ed NAM workshop had to offer because it really was kind of like a melting pot. Like when I go to OMBA, like I don't go, I might see only like 5 to 10 people that look like me out of thousands and thousands of people. But right, but Nam was like, it's the culture. It's like this melting pot, right? And that was so exciting. Like, and like their approach to the session was like very collaborative, and a lot of breakout sessions, and a lot of like brainstorming among other colleagues around the country to see what they're doing. And then it promoted advocacy. It promoted also like what I really love too is like teaching children
Mm,
about all of the variety of careers beyond music ed, beyond being a
true.
performer. There's like
That's
the back
true.
office, the music retailers. There's people who specialize, like the Hammond and the Scotts, who make the brands what they are. Like there's so many things and extensions, and exposing, this next generation to that is so critical.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
There's another artist that I interviewed last week, who's a 16-year-old blues rock guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I just thought it was so interesting to see someone his age like performing like he's idol with Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he's just creating new music in that vein. And I thought, well, that's really neat to see somebody that age that's still into that kind of style, you know?
That is awesome.
I know, I know. But you said something at the beginning about OMBA I didn't understand what that.
Yes, it's called the Ohio Music Educator Association,
Okay.
and for short OMEA. And like I was exposed to that in college, and that was great. I mean, it has strengths, but they never mentioned NAM, and I'm like, why have you guys were like telling us, trying to recruit us to join this? Why didn't you ever mention NAM? It's like it is one of the best music conferences I've ever attended in my whole entire life.
Wow. NAM is
It
really
really
getting,
is.
NAM's going to be so excited to hear you say that.
They really are. I mean, and like, okay, of course, obviously they had my favorite, one of my favorite artists in the whole wide world is Doobie Powell,
Mm,
who is endorsed by Nord. And I knew he would like, I would see these like Nord videos on YouTube, but I never put two and two together, right? I never knew that he was performing at NAM,
mhm.
all these years. But boy, the energy, the creativity. I mean, it was so, and when it was like multi-genre, and just like every room that I walked in, I never felt judged. I never felt like
That's true.
everybody was better than me. It was like a family atmosphere.
Inclusive and warming and warm and
Yes.
welcoming. Yeah.
It didn't matter like if people were LGBTQ or whatever. It was like this atmosphere of love, and this
Mhm.
atmosphere of acceptance, and this atmosphere of like, hey, what do you do? Can we collaborate? Let's make music together. And oh my God, that Jimmy, that Reverend Jimmy, he met me, and then I ended up performing with him the next day on the national stage. Like how there was so many wins
Wait,
by
Jimmy who? Jimmy who?
Reverend Jimmy. He is
Oh,
an
Reverend
endorsed
Jimmy.
Hammond. Yes,
Yes,
endorsed.
that's right.
Yes.
Scott talked about him. That's right.
Oh, he is amazing. Like he's my new big brother from another mother. And he was one of the artists to see me that helped to facilitate this endorsement that's going to be announced in a couple of weeks here. And so he saw me, he heard me in the same setting that you heard me. And he was basically it's like, Stephanie, I don't know who you are. I've never heard of you before, but honey, we've got to work on getting you endorsed. And like then like the next day he was like, oh yeah, meet me here because I'm performing because I may put you on stage. And he did. And like that doesn't happen. And this is my first year of NAM. Like
That is so awesome. I'm so happy for you.
who goes the first year and is endorsed by a legendary company such as Hammond? Hammond, like, there is no organ in the earth like
Yeah, I was
Hammond.
going to ask
Like,
you about that. What makes
I,
Hampton so special?
first of all, I have a Hammond here, right here, in A100 in my house. And this is a music room that I have. So this is like my little studio setup and everything. I
Sure.
have my little studio mic and all that. And so
Right.
there is, Hammond are the originators of the pure gospel sound of the organ.
Right.
We have, there's some perpetrators out here, but they are the birthers of that.
The
They are
originators, the
they are
OG. The
Yeah,
OG.
the OG, baby. And I'm gonna be honest, like I've played the other stuff,
Right.
and the other stuff ain't got nothing on Hammond. Like the sound.
Hmm.
And I mean, and what a Hammond can do. And then like it's the sound itself to me that can music can create portals.
Mm-hmm.
It can create portals and gates to bring in peace and
Mm-hmm. Oh,
joy
I
and
totally
healing.
agree. I totally agree.
And not only like is the sound of it, but the sound to me can create portals and gates. Hammond is the birther of this sound that we have in
Mm-hmm.
so many of these gospel churches. It's not Nord, it's not Viscount, it's the Hammond. And these other brands have copied.
Yeah.
They have copied. They've tried to copy. They've tried to copy.
Wow.
But it's only one OG baby. And it's only one Hammond.
And
And it's only one sound like the Hammond on earth. That's it. That's it. It's
now,
the sound I want to hear.
now I know the B3. Is there other models that are good, or do you like the B3?
Well, I love the B3. I love the A100. I have the A100 here. I have a Leslie in my house. Like
Oh, the Leslie. Yeah, right. The Leslie.
yeah. And so like, I'm impressed with like over the years how the sound of the Hammond has progressed with the new technology
Yes,
advancements.
that's
And I
true.
feel like every year it's getting better and better. It's like every year
It's
they're
true.
getting closer and closer to me to like the original old school Hammond. And so it's incredible. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
I've seen the guy last year. There was that one guy with the hat on. He always dresses in a suit, and he was playing,
Yes.
and he was playing stuff, and yeah, it's amazing. It's just such a thrill. Like I've met so many people at the Hammond booth now that they're so cool people. Such cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, besides the Hammond organ, which you love, I wanted to talk to you about your original music, right? And
Yes.
you got something, are we allowed to say you got something coming out on,
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes.
are we allowed to say about February
Yes.
3rd, you have a single coming out, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
what's it called?
It's called Watch God Flex.
Watch God Flex.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I knew that. Yeah, and can you tell me how that came about? I
Yeah.
mean,
So it kind of the lyrics came about through, I think one day I was just in conversation with some friends at the time, and somehow like there was something going on, but like through faith and through prayer, God worked it out. And the friend at the time was like saying, God's just flexing, when somebody flexes a
um,
muscle.
mhm, mhm.
And so like because it was so awesome and extreme. And I'm like, So then like I begin to think about just that whole concept of God flexing with the things that he does. I mean, if you think about it, he's flexed in so many ways with making creating the universe,
Mhm.
creating the things, the sun, the moon. I mean, that's flexing, okay?
Right,
And
right.
so, and so like I think my story is like I'm looking forward to watch God flex for me in my life. I've waited, I've prayed for this, and it's like I don't know, it's kind of right. This song has been kind of done, semi done, like for about a year and a half, but
Mhm.
it's the timing that everything's aligning that what I'm talking about in the song is actually happening in my life. Things I've been waiting on for a long time. I've never could have dreamed and imagine that I would even be able to be considered one of Hammond's artists. Like what? Who goes to name the first year and that happens? You know what I mean?
You
And
you
so
create a bit. You lived out your self fulfilling prophecy. I mean, you
yes.
you know.
And it's like life has had so many challenges where to be honest, I've put my dreams on hold. It's been a lot of battles, it's been a lot of disappointments, it's been a lot of sacrifice, but like there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I've gone through divorce before. It's just it's all kind of things. And then like it's just God, it's like God has a way of taking you out of your darkest places to bring you into your brightest places.
Hmm, hmm.
You know?
You have to go through the dark before you can see the light, and it just it made, I mean, personally, I feel like it gives you so much character though, that, what you've gone through, to see the hard, go through those hard times. Now you can really appreciate what you're going through
Yes.
now,
I
right?
wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it like, if I had to do it over again, I would do it the same with all the hard stuff because the hard stuff makes us who we are.
That's true.
It's our story. It develops character.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
develops like us as in our strength.
That's true. And for me personally, I always feel like, everything I've gone through made me develop my personality.
Me too. Yes.
I don't want
Yes.
to be this vacuous person, right?
Yeah, I
And,
agree.
so that's great. I'm so happy for you. And so you've been working on this music for a while. Do you have other stuff that's already out there?
Well, yes, I do have an EP that's out called Overcomer, so you guys can go to any streaming platform and check it out.
And your
Hold On.
website? Your website,
Yes, it's on my website too. Hold
right?
On was produced by Kevin Bond. That's the same band that produced Kurt Franklin's album, his
Okay.
first album. And Overcomer, I produced it myself. And I literally just made up this, like the musicians played some music. This is how this happened with Overcomer. Like basically, it all started because like a church that I was helping out with their music, they needed to have their national conference, but it was during the pandemic. So it all
Mhm.
started as like, okay, we have a theme of being an overcomer. And
Mhm.
at first they was like, oh, just do worship over Zoom without, I said, that's not excellent. So
Right.
I said, let me just take a group of my friends. I'll have them play some music. And they, in that particular church, they just like free flowing stuff. Like they'll do some like set songs, but they like to call it prophetic, but they just flow, right? And so literally what literally happened was I told the musicians, hey, just play this music, right? Just cycle this music. This is what I have in mind. I played it for them.
Mhm.
And I literally on the spot didn't necessarily even know what I was going to say, right? And I just
Mhm.
free flowed, right? And
Mhm.
then I went back and I added the background vocals later.
Oh, wow.
And that's how we got the song Overcomer.
That's awesome.
But basically, there's a line in there that says, I overcome against COVID-19. I overcome against every challenges. It's
Mhm.
real churchy. It's real, celebratory. So
That
it's pretty
sounds
cool.
great. Hey,
Yeah,
I wanted to ask you, so what was your first instrument? Did you start off on piano or
I
organist?
did. I did start off. Well, you know what? Before that, there was the tambourine. I have to say that because you know what? I was raised in church, and so like I remember my dad got this little Tykes tambourine, and I would just play it in church, like yay,
Little
like
percussionist.
yes, and then like my auntie on my dad's side and my cousin on my mom's side, we would, Thanksgiving and Christmas, they would show me stuff on the piano and then I would just pick it up just like that by
Oh,
ear, right? So they
right.
were like, they told my both of them like double team my parents and was like, you really need to get Stephanie into like some classical piano lessons. So when I was like 8, I started like classical piano lessons
Right.
and kind of took off from there. Started playing organ and getting organ lessons when I was 13.
Hmm.
And we
Oh,
just here
okay.
we are.
That's amazing. Yeah. So piano, organ, any tambourine, any other instruments?
Well, I play a little recorder because I
Ah,
have to teach it to the kids.
yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Well, let me say it like this. I am not at all a professional guitar player, but I had to learn how
Right.
to do a guitar and how to do a guitar jury in college because they make you learn different
Sure.
instruments. I,
Sure.
I played I've played the euphonium before. I am not a professional. Don't book me for euphonium. You'll be very disappointed.
Right.
But I sing too. I've been singing for forever.
Yeah, well, that's great because, singing is one of the great joys, way of spreading joy and helping to relieve anything you're going through. It's a great release.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's such an intimate thing, like because like it belongs to you. Our vocal folds are
Sure.
like a thumbprint, right?
Mhm,
And so
mhm,
like nobody's voice sounds like
mhm.
our voice. Nobody has a voice just like ours. We have
Good
our
point.
own unique voice
Right.
that is unlike any other instrument on this earth. So that's pretty cool.
That's
Where
true.
where if you play the organ or if you play the piano, like it has the same like timbre, right? And the same sound, right? But your voice is your
That's true.
own.
That's true. Like
No other instruments exist like that in the earth.
when I
Pretty
sing
cool.
with certain groups that don't want to work, if I say we got to change the key and they're like they give me gruff about it, I'm like, I
Oh,
can't change like you can,
Yeah, yeah.
because, you know, it's my instrument that is a certain way, right?
Yes, yes.
So do you also do this other like life coaching or something? Because
I do. I do. So like, kind of like during the pandemic, like everything had just like shut down. And
Mhm,
prior to that, I would just randomly get on social media at random times on Monday
mhm, mhm.
and either give a word of encouragement or sing or just kind of give like a word of wisdom or a thought,
Mhm.
And I called it just Monday Manna. It was kind of random. It was kind of loose. It wasn't formal. But then
Right.
during the pandemic, like I received, like somebody had said, you really should really actually brand that. You should really take that more seriously. And I started to. So I like basically have a Facebook broadcast. It's on YouTube and it comes on Instagram and I basically do a few different things. Like do like a free flowing worship. People call it prophetic worship. Sometimes I sing just songs that I want to sing, and then I kind of give encouragement. And then I have a gift where I have spiritual insight into like strangers.
Mhm.
So like on the secular side, people would call that reading.
Mhm.
In the church world, they call it prophecy, right? And so like I have that gift. And so like during the pandemic, people really started they were nowhere else to go. They were just at
Right.
home, right? So it kind of started to bloom and develop and get wings of its own. And people through that asked me to like life coach them. So like I
Oh.
do like prophetic like life coaching where it's not just regular life coaching, it's also like prophetic supernatural insight
Mm.
of people's life and to help them to get from point A to point B with all the practical steps too. So it's pretty
I,
cool. It's like the blending of both worlds.
I know. So I figured that when I saw your email because I was like, she must work being a life coach of some sort, you know. So that's
Yes.
why I called you a hyphen because when I was reading all the stuff you did, like she's a musical director, she's an artist, she's now a Hammond artist, you know.
Yay.
By the time this comes out, you know you probably will have made that announcement anyway because it
Oh, that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. And like I said, I've got some footage I want to show you of you playing at the beginning. Now,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, because Scott got has some that I guess he showed on his, Instagram. And so,
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah. So you're okay, you got your website, Stephanie Childers. It's just stephaniechilders.org.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I'll put under the video. And you probably have you talk about your music on there too, like where people can get it besides,
Oh, yeah.
right, streaming
Yeah.
anywhere. And when's the next time you're coming out to California? Do you know?
You know what? I don't know. I know. Well, for sure, I'll be at the next NAM for
Yeah,
sure.
I know.
I'm a NAMmer for life.
That's like that. Scott will love to hear that because for him it's like a vacation. You know, he's always like, "I'm planning my next NAM trip." You know.
Yes, yes. I'm a NAMmer for life, baby.
Aw,
I'm a NAMmer forever.
yeah. So you'll have to come out with us with this little group one night when we watch when you're not performing, or maybe we'll be watching you perform. You know. Because yeah, Scott told me you performed, and I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but when you said you were with the Reverend, was it Reverend someone?
Yeah, yeah, Reverend Jimmy.
Yeah,
I have to make sure I send it. Yeah, I'll send you a clip of that. I like
oh,
filmed the whole
yeah,
thing.
I want to see
Yeah,
that for sure. Maybe
it
I
was amazing.
will.
Phil Guitar was on there, and he's played for like Ty Tribbett and so many legends and greats. Kevin Powell played as well.
Were you on the Yamaha stage, or where were you?
Yes, the
Oh,
Yamaha stage. Like I'm
oh,
like, who me? Yes,
little old May.
I was really excited. It was an honor. It was an honor and
Oh,
a privilege.
that's a
Really.
great stage. I've seen so many good shows there. Gosh, excuse me. I believe Michael McDonald, which
Oh,
Scott,
yes. Oh,
Scott works with him too, and he played because I think it was before COVID maybe, but they had a big band and it was Michael McDonald, Butch Walker, and Melissa Etheridge all performing.
wow.
Like, wow, that was a great, particular one, right?
I love me some Michael McDonald because that man can
Oh,
sing.
yeah. I know. And he was like,
His voice is amazing.
he's so modest too, and
Wow.
he's so fun. It's like I mean, it's so funny. Some people are so great and they're so modest. So that's
I love that. I love when people are amazing and excellent at what they do, but they're just down to earth. Like
yes,
that's my kind of vibe. Let's go
I
let's
know,
go with
right?
that.
Right. Um, I don't know if it was the day you were playing, but Stevie Wonder was next door at the other booth. I don't know. I don't. Maybe it wasn't when you were there, but I didn't get to see him play. But I actually got to see him because he always goes to to NAM too, and I've never been able to see him. So I was like, there he is.
Wow. I think I just missed him because I had to fly back home. And it's crazy because I ended up flying back home right before the snowstorm had hit, like an hour
Oh
before.
my
But they said
gosh.
that he was there on Saturday and I had left
Oh,
out Saturday
you
morning.
were the.
Next year I'm staying the whole week. I'm gonna stay
Oh,
to Sunday next week, next
I
year.
know you got to stay at one of the
Maybe
hotels.
Monday.
Yeah, yeah, that's what Scott does because we do all get together and jam at this friend's house after
Really?
we'll have to invite you.
I
You
would love that.
guys
Yes.
can have dueling organs going, you
Oh
know?
yes, that would be amazing. That Hammond book was amazing. Those three organs at the same time.
Yeah.
It was like all this like wonderful musical energy. It was just, oh,
Oh
I
my
was so
God.
excited.
I know. And everybody was so, like you said, supportive.
Yeah.
And you're right about the music education because I teach a little bit too. I teach voice,
Yes.
musical theater, and a couple other things. And that there's so many resources at NAM for that, right? For
Yes.
teaching musical education. So it's just a wealth.
I loved it.
Yeah, I know. So what else? Did I miss anything that you do that I didn't bring up? Because I wanted to make sure.
Oh no, I think you hit it all. Everybody can find me on my website, stephaniechilders.org, and my life coaching stuff is there. I, I'm trying to be, I preach a little bit too. I minister too.
You do?
So
At,
I do,
at your
yeah.
church? At your
Yeah,
church?
well, anywhere like that I'm asked to, like women's services and like youth services. And so like I do that too.
I could see that because when I met you, you were just so you were very organized for one thing, but you had a great like I said, I could tell you had a good spirit about you. I could see that right away and vibe and energy, whatever you want to call it. But you just always seem so like we said in the beginning, you're so happy and so uplifted. It's part of who you are because you feel grateful for everything you're
Yes.
doing, right?
Yes, yes. I'm so grateful. Like it's just I'm so excited too.
I know. I mean that's so wonderful too because and that's I was saying telling Scott about that because a lot of these artists I met there that I'm having on the podcast, he's like, that's a great thing about NAM because everyone's there to meet people to network but also just be uplifting to everyone else. It's just a whole great
Yes.
energy vibe, right?
I love that. Just that and I mean, I just felt right at home. I felt like I met my tribe at
I
NAM.
know that's what you said and I think that's so great because it is your tribe,
Yes.
and you will now that you're a Hammond artist. That's
Yeah.
so I'm so excited.
And I just can't hide it.
I met the Pointer Sisters at this thing I was doing. Well, before, gosh, the one that passed away, I can't remember. It was, gosh, about 6 or 7 years ago. But she passed away, and I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, I got to sing with them a little bit because I was on the red carpet, and we were just doing like,
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh my God, I just sang with the Pointer Sisters. That's so amazing,
Yes.
because respect, to them, right?
Yes. People like there's so many artists that we have to honor because they have trailblazed and they've paved the
Mhm.
way and like their music is still relevant. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it is just so awesome, and it's just like
Good music never goes away and
yeah.
it keeps coming back, like these artists that like these, like Scott was telling me he worked with Booker T and Michael McDonald and
Yes.
this guy named I don't know if you know Felix Cavallari from he was big in the like 60s and 70s. He's still alive and he's still touring, but
Wow.
he's doing a lot of stuff with Hammond too. So
That's
anyways,
amazing.
but
That's amazing.
I wanted to thank you so much for coming on. And so your single, Watch God Flex, will come out on February 23rd on all the streaming platforms, right?
Yes.
And people can find you on your website, stephaniechilders.org. Right?
Yes.
And I'm so excited that I'll see you at NAM in
Yes. I'm
January,
gonna
right?
yes.
Again,
Yes.
coming up again, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so and you got your Monday, what's it called? Your
Monday manna.
Monday Manna. Okay.
Yep.
They can find on YouTube or Facebook.
Yep. And it's on my website too.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want to hear some of all of the things Stephanie does, check her out because she's got great energy and she's a great musician.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you, reaching out to me afterwards, and you're really good about that. So that's, it's a great quality to stay in touch with people. I always tell like little kids I work with, I mentor and teach. I'm like, you got to stay in touch with people and you got to reach out to people, because if you're even all the talent in the world, you're not going to get, people won't know about it unless you reach out to people, right?
That's true. And I think relationships are currency. And
Mm,
it's like a garden. Relationships are a garden. And to me, like to cultivate relationships is so important.
that's
And really for the purpose of being able to add value to other people's lives, you know?
That's true. That's so true. I stay in touch with a group of girls that I toured with before, and we've gone through different phases in our lives. But so many good things have come out of that relationship. But I try and stay in touch with people. I'm pretty good about it. So, but I think it's really important. You know.
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. And I know it's late back where you are. It's what time? It's well,
Well, it's like 7:38. We're
it's
pretty
not
good.
that late. It's not like past your bedtime or anything.
Yes.
Are you gonna eat dinner soon?
Probably, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I wish you a wonderful evening, and I'll let you know when this comes out, and then send me some footage too, so I can put it in there. Okay.
Oh, most definitely. Yes.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
You're
It's been great.
welcome. All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Candid with Kim.